maybe just consider, this is advice, shutting the fuck up, waiting 2 seconds, not saying always, you can't talk, but just shut up and wait 2 seconds before you declaratively yell to the world a conclusion that not only cannot be substantiated, but can be immediately refuted. Because you know what the problem is? Millions of people go on believing that. All right, guys. See, I did the sip tour. Welcome to the Lineup Live here on Rumble. Today we're going to be talking about the obvious. This is one of those days where I'll be honest with you. We always try to be honest with you, but I'm nervous as to how to communicate this because I'm pretty pissed. And you remember when Charlie Kirk, the assassination happened, obviously we kind of let her rip. And I remember back then saying, you know, the problem is not just this, but as we continued down that path and all the conspiracy theories came out and the bad actors, what's going to happen the next time? Well, thank God no one who was targeted was killed, but we're at the next time. We're at the next time, and it's bad. And I'm going to talk about Mehdi Hassan. I'm going to go through everything that we know today with all the references as far as the shooter, the motivation, who was involved, what we know, what we don't know. And we don't know everything, but holy, dear God, the misinformation out there right now. And I can't tell you the difference between the Marxist right and those on the left. There's no horseshoe. They're the same people. And I can already hear people going, well, what are you going to do? Carry the water for the government? Hey, let me just walk you through this here a little bit as far as if you want to continue watching or not. I've been here for a long time. I was the guy who at the beginning of COVID said, no, I don't trust this. We were banned for it. Same thing with the election, going out to addresses that didn't exist. I don't believe the government narrative all the time. We have literally had leaks within the government and been subpoenaed by the DOJ, threatened by the FBI. That doesn't mean that going off with completely uncorroborated information, half-cocked for clicks, is somehow on the path of truth-telling, which is what I'm seeing out there. The misinformation based on this shooting, and not just bad actors, flat-out liars. Look, Tyler Robinson was a radical leftist and shot Charlie Kirk. Do we know everything? No. Is it possible he didn't act alone? Of course. There's going to be a trial. And I hope that he fries. Cole Thomas Allen is a radical leftist, was a radical leftist, the man who shot up the White House Correspondents' dinner. This should be a time right now, like COVID, where the obvious is obvious and people start waking up. I never saw more people wake up in my lifetime than COVID going, wait a second, we were lied to. Wait a second, I thought that the right was this way and the left was looking out for me, and I realized that they were radical control freaks. That should be happening right now, where people go, you know what, I thought that the right, they were the dangerous people, they were the extremists, but time after time after time, we see a really quick, easy line from the rhetoric, Nazi, fascist, danger to democracy, and people getting shot. It's that straightforward. There's more subtext. We'll get into it. Tyler Robinson, radical leftist. Cole Thomas Allen, radical leftist. The reason I have to be surrounded by security all the time, and I have been for years, radical leftists. We should be able to talk. Instead, you have bad actors deliberately keeping you misinformed for clicks. Go watch The Left is Violent, Changed My Mind. We did that after Charlie. It seems like a lot of people have forgotten. I log on, just whatever, watch CNN yesterday, wherever I go. I'm going, are you kidding me? I'm trying to get some information. Well, people write, Israel did it. And they'll cite Google Analytics, and it's immediately, easily disproven. Doesn't mean that Israel had nothing to do with it. I can't tell you that. I can tell you the Google Analytics screenshot is bullshit, guys. Then on the flip side, Iran did it, same justification, and it's bullshit. Then you have people saying the Trump administration did it. Why? The Secret Service is on the take. Okay, what's the purpose there? Caroline Leavitt knew about it because she said there will be shots fired at a Correspondence dinner, which is a glorified roast. By the way, this Marxist right, they now say that this is the sign of the beast. Have you seen it? And by the way, millions of people believe this. Tens of millions of people are buying this line of bullshit. and saying, you must, who's paid you if you don't think that this, is the sign of the beast? If you don't think that Israel was involved with this shooting, if you don't think that Caroline Levitt was in on it. And then that brings us to real people are affected by this. The widow of the last guy who was actually assassinated, Erica Kirk, people take this out to go, look, she's fake crying because she looked at a camera. I hate armchair psychologists as much as the next person. Everything's a narcissist. Everything's trauma. I would wager that someone who watched their husband be publicly, brutally assassinated, by the way, with an unbelievable amount of blood. The bad actors out there are hoping that you don't see the original tape, which I watched in real time too. I'm willing to bet that someone who's been through that and then is in a room with actual gunfire, probably a pretty traumatic event. And if I was walking through a hallway trying to get away from what could be an active shooter, and someone had a camera in my face, I might glance at it too. Does that mean that Israel did it? Or I'm in cahoots with them? Also, learn your fucking time zones, people, Google Analytics experts. Didn't we learn from Candace Owens and the Egyptian plane thing? What's the other one? This is all staged to get a new ballroom? What? It's the first thing I thought when this happened. It's the logical conclusion. That's why they wanted to build a new ballroom. Stephen Miller used his wife as a human shield. This is what people are talking about. This is what people out there, and some people, millions of people, believe that Mossad is building something under the proposed ballroom. When we live in an actual era where there is a direct line from the left's rhetoric, their calls to action, their worldview, and these attacks. Charlie Kirk, Donald Trump 1, 2, anyone in this space who lives it, myself included, that should be the primary conversation while we collect facts. And these Marxist right-wingers telling you to stay home, telling you there's no difference between the left or the right, they just keep screwing it up. And they're fostering and hoping that there is a low IQ base. That doesn't mean the American people at large. That means the people who, without any information, gobble up the idea that Israel, Iran, Caroline Levitt, or Erica Kirk had something to do with this because they saw a meme that can be fact-checked in 2 seconds. You can say whatever you want. That's the great era of social media, I guess. That's one of the pluses. Thank God for X. Thank God for Rumble. So don't misconstrue what I'm about to say as meaning you don't have the right to speak because people did that online too. What I am telling you is that you need to be responsible when real people are involved. Maybe just consider, this is advice, shutting the fuck up, waiting 2 seconds. Not saying always, you can't talk, but just shut up and wait 2 seconds before you declaratively yell to the world a conclusion that not only cannot be substantiated, but can be immediately refuted. Because you know what the problem is? Millions of people go on believing that. They go on believing that. You still live in a world today from the last time that people peddled the bullcrap who believe that a 30-06 in no world can be used and not leave an exit wound. Tell that to MLK Jr. We covered it when it happened. Tell that to the ballistics. Does it mean that it's the most common? No. But the idea that everyone is a ballistics expert, the idea that everyone is an expert in body language and sign language, and this used to mean, okay, the left used to say this was a white supremacy symbol. Now the Marxist right saying it's the sign of the beast. Do you want to know what the left needs to do to win? Nothing. Nothing if you keep this up. Nothing at all. Sit back and go, you know what, we used to have to trot out. Remember that guy who got fired? I believe it was from, or was reprimanded from the Navy or Marines for doing this, playing that game. Remember we used to say it was a white supremacist symbol? They pushed. Well, guess what? The Marxist right is saying it's the sign of the beast. They're going to destroy each other. Remember how he used to plant some misinformation, Russia, Russia, Russia? Israel this, Israel that. Abraham hit me with a wiffle ball bat. Well, now they're doing it. They're saying Israel's going to build something under the ballroom, and that's what this is all about. It's a false flag. Just let them do what they do, and they're going to lose. And the country will be handed right back to us. How do I know? Because I talk with them. I'm in their circles. There isn't a leftist group out there where we don't have our fingers in that pot, monitoring the temperatures. The right movement right now is rightfully a laughingstock because of a few bad actors. You guys got to push back against them. Erica Kirk crying is a conspiracy? Are you shitting me? And I noticed that the people who push these, they sidestep the info. Oh, wait, was this person a known leftist? Yeah. For over a decade. They attend No Kings? Yeah. They have a manifesto? Yeah. Were they a teacher? Yeah. Were they mentally unstable? Yeah. Sidestep that because they can misread a Google Analytics trend and feed that to you. But it's a lot more valuable because it's exclusive. So they get your clicks. We got to do a whole lot better, and this needs to be shut down. Or I tell you what, you're not going to have a country to fight for, and more people are going to be dropping dead. Okay? Jeez, holy shit. All right, we'll talk about that more in all of the references. Everything we know, claim truth, references available for you. There's a lot of information that is ironclad, that is concrete, and then some maybe-sos. We'll differentiate for you. You know, hey, it's a comedy show, it's an entertainment show, but you know, journalism. Just go. Hey, if you're still watching this, you may be one of the 6 million or so subscribers on YouTube who is, for one reason or another, I don't understand it, still here. So back in the day, I would say click one of these videos and subscribe, but really just head on over to my channel on Rumble. Follow me there. I'm live 5 days a week, 11 a.m. Eastern, and I actually say the things that I mean to say. On YouTube, it's everyone here is kind of neutered, really, and there's just a general lack of testicular energy, but I mean that in the heterosexual way, mostly.